Hello, my good friends. This is Chaos Angel here, also known as the Lord of Omni, and I'm back at again with another video discussion with you guys. And we are going to be getting into the updates that has actually come about on the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker website. Since the time of the benchmark release of the trailer yesterday or a couple of days ago, we have been waiting for the actual official release of the benchmark to come live, which happened not too long ago. But not only that, we also got a lot of extra goodies on top of it with the Endwalker website getting an update. So we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at that and going into the nitty-gritty of things and seeing what exactly has been updated. Now, even though I say that, I technically cheated a little bit, as I did do a little bit of some snooping on a couple of things, and one thing that caught me for a loop was the fact that the jobs as far as Sage and Reaper actually got an update, and we now have some information on lore backgrounds on these jobs, as well as the actual job soulstone symbols. So we're going to be going ahead and getting into that. These are the majority of the things that are new that we are going to be getting or just already have at this point in time. What we will be getting sooner than later is the challenges. But as of right now, we got the story, we got the jobs, and we got the systems. So first things first, we are just going to go ahead and just go down the list here. Warrior of Light bear forth our hope that these days not be the last. Yet shadowed by their triumph in the first, the Warrior of Light and Scions of the Seven Dawn are home at last. An even greater calamity than refulgent oblivion has been building in their absence, however. A second advent of the final days. Should all despair, the myriad conflicts that now ravage the land cannot be forsaken or foretoken an end to life in the source. Cannot but foretoken. Okay. I was reading that a little bit too fast. But take heart in the faith of those who walk beside you and journey ever higher to the very stars above. Ah, yes, the moon. Upon advent of these final days, we recall once the world was whole, its people blessed, ere a great calamity threatened all in existence. The approach of the so-called final days caused a great schism among the ancients, culminating in the stars shattering into 14 reflections, incomplete and imperfect. With the second coming of the self-same calamity looming on the horizon, the Warrior of Light must stand firm as hope's last bastion. So now we move on to the actual story bits here. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be quite a lot of stuff that we're going to be taking a look at. Okay, so not too much per se as far as the new story. We probably already gotten into the majority of this as far as Endwalker brings the tale of Hydaelyn and Zodiac to a conclusion, eons in the making. To unravel its mysteries and conquer its challenges will be no common feat. May these records of key figures, looming adversaries, and lands yet untraveled serve you well. So on and so forth. Yes. We have already gotten to the download of the download when it comes to this. Already got down with the story so far. And as far as the new horizons, we got Old Sharlayan, Labyrinthos, Garlemald, Thavnir, Razadhan. I believe this has already been here. In Scorn, in the lonely northern archipelago, and ever blessed by the wise auspices of Thalic, actually. The gleaming white edifices of the city stand at the center of Sharlayan society, first among many dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge and scientific advancement is the Studium, the world's most prestigious place of learning. Yes. And yeah, there's the actual trailer for that. I'm pretty sure they've already pretty much had this on this website. I can't really remember. It's been a long time since I actually been on the website itself. And then as far as Labyrinthos, this is obviously below Old Charlian. So yeah, deep below the streets of Old Charlian lies a vast subterranean environment created as a repository for tomes and treaties on every subject imaginable, gathered from all corners of the world to protect the priceless and irreplaceable. The climate of Labyrinthos is etherically regulated. And then, of course, the ruin of Garlemald. Yes. Despite being situated on the frozen plains of northern Ilzabad, the imperial capital overcame the natural disadvantages of its location and many a further obstacle facing the empire with the power of Magitech. The rise of this burgeoning industry spurred rapid urban development in recent decades, until the sprawling metropolis was brought to its knees by civil war. Now the once proud jewel of the empire is a sea of desolation. Oh, desolation, most definitely. In that vein, I can definitely say that much is for certain. And then now, as far as Thavnir and the bounty's southeastern waters lies the Isle of Thavnir, where tropical coastline soon gives way to dense rainforest, which I'm definitely going to be enjoying that kind of environment. Though the intense heat and sweltering humidity remain much the same, the region is known as a rich source of the magically infused stone giant gall, or giant's gall, and the distinctive violet glow with its rocky outcrops lingers in the memories of visitors long after they depart its shores. I can only wonder whether or not if Vitra is actually resting within Thavnir. That kind of was one thing that made me wonder. I wasn't too sure. Right now I'm just reiterating on this because I haven't been on this website for quite some time, so it's like I can't exactly remember what is new and what is old. But the majority of this I won't actually be getting into because some of these aren't exactly all too important to really get in deep into for this video. Instead, the one thing that I really want to talk about is more so the other new aspects as far as the job that I do know for a fact that wasn't on this website, as well as the new systems, most likely with the Viera. I don't really think that this was on here, and this was most likely updated on this website since the benchmark got released. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take at the new jobs. The addition of the brand new jobs, Sage and Reaper, is accompanied by updates to the battle system, including new actions for existing jobs and a raised level cap, as per usual. And now, let's talk about the fact of what I actually found in here. Now, I really gotta say, I love these symbols. I, for one, can't for the life of me even think of where in the world I have possibly seen Sage's soul stone symbol from, but for whatever reason, Sage looks straight up familiar to me. I swear, I feel like I've seen this symbol somewhere in Final Fantasy. I have no idea where, but this symbol literally looks so familiar. It really straight up looks familiar to me, and it really is bothering me. It's bothering me how I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know where. That's the problem. But other than that, let's go ahead and read into the information about the job. This is pretty much self-explanatory given the amount of lore that we learned from pretty much the showcase about the job. And really, it's what you would expect when it comes to Charlian. So the nation of Charlian is the cradle of knowledge and the studium, its foremost institution of learning, yet more so than its incomparable library and formidable assemblage of archons. This prestigious academy is famed for blending traditionally distinct fields to produce revolutionary new disciplines. Among these, perhaps the most distinguished is the altruistic art, which draws upon the wisdom of atheology, sorcery, and medicine, dubbed the Summonotics, or Notics, whatever. I don't really even know whether or not if that's an actual word, and to be perfectly honest, I searched it up, and I wasn't even able to find a definition. The art seeks to heal and protect by manipulating corporeal aether through the use of nuliths, a flying array of foci. Practitioners are dedicated to the betterment of mankind, and for their wisdom and compassion eventually came to be known simply as sages. Butchered a couple of those words there, don't really give a shit about it, but yeah, that is pretty much the download of the download when it comes to sages, and honestly, it's pretty much one note. The majority of some of the stuff that we learn on Sage is pretty much self-explanatory when it comes to it, as long as you know about Charlians and so on and so forth. Now, as far as Reaper has been the enigma of pretty much the entirety of this whole entire freaking circle of jobs. Because for the life of me, I have, since the time that this job was even revealed, the one thing that I was curious about was just, how did this job come to be? The job literally freaking takes voice sense as its literal use of, like, even becoming a job to begin with, and harnessing the power of that voice sense just to do the very things that it does. It literally just piques my curiosity, especially considering that very voice sense is coming from World of Darkness. So it's just like, what the hell is this job? How did it come to be? That was the one thing that I was wanting to know since, and I am so glad that we're going to be getting to the bottom of this, because the second you even get to the first sentence, oh my god, I fucking killed over. I gotta be honest, I killed over, guys, when I freaking read this first sentence. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the Garlean's forebears were once humble farmers who made their home among the sun-drenched field of southern Ilzabad. This sentence, we will be getting to this sentence after I'm done. That was until they were driven from this paradise by invaders wielding arcane magics. As per usual, as those who are deep in the lore of Final Fantasy XIV know, when it comes to Ilzabard and essentially the Guardians of themselves, their literal territory, or the land in which they live as far as their forebears is concerned, their very ancestors, have really had a tough time when it came to it. Like, they were literally just like bullied. Let's be honest here. They were just straight up bullied, like for real. Nothing about their actual life was really all that pretty when it came to it. Like, people were just freaking bombarding their asses due to the fact that they had absolutely no way to protect themselves, because they have no ways of being able to use magics. That's the reason why they turned to freaking magic tech. Mainly because of the fact on where they live, they're able to find the very materials in order to create these actual freaking automatons. So with that in mind, many of this stuff makes sense. So continuing on, forced north into the frigid mountains, the survivors sought a means to tap into the reservoir of aether otherwise close to them. And apparently that seems to have been the void somehow. A daring few found their answer within the void, binding themselves to its creatures to gain verboten power. Power fed by the souls of the slain, which gives a pause on the actual symbol in and of itself, and we'll be getting into that in a second. Once more, they took up their scythes, this time to reap a crimson harvest. I swear, guys, if I didn't know any better on the actual meme that was botanists becoming fucking reapers, I could not believe what I was fucking reading when it came to the fucking first sentence. Oh my god, it's actually real. The fact that botanists in Garlemald, literally reapers, are essentially botanists. That freaking, oh my, and it just makes so much sense now. No, like for real, it literally makes too much sense. Because when you think about it, look at the weapon in the art. Look at the weapon in the art. As for many of the people who may or may not know, or may not remember, when the job was first revealed, many people were curious as to why in the world, like the very vials that apparently are sitting on the belt of this character here, and pretty much the scythe in and of itself. And then you look at freaking Xenos and his scythe. This job is literally a job that is located from Garlean. It's literally from the Empire. But this character, whoever is going to be the mentor that's teaching us this shit, is probably going to be coming from Garlean's location, if not that, just somewhere within Ilzabar. That is literally what's happening here, and it makes so much sense. But getting back to it, the fact that Botanist literally actually freaking became the job known as Reaper, and the title Reaper, which came from the connections, I swear, it boggles my mind on how they literally just made this a thing. They actually made this a thing, and I just cannot believe it. Oh my god. That's just gold. That is absolute gold. I can't believe this. That's gonna be a meme for this job for the entirety. I can't, and I love it. I absolutely love it. What the fuck? Anyway, moving on. So getting back to it, as I was saying before, like if you see here, the weapon in and of itself is literally Garlean make, because you can tell right here, you may not actually see that right there is literally a cartridge. It may not look like it, but it literally looks like a cartridge, if not that, a barrel. That literally looks like a barrel. Like no one can tell me that that does not look like a barrel there. Even though this is most definitely not in the similar vein to that of like Xenos's, which will probably literally be like a gun scythe in some way, shape, or form. But this is heavily inspired in Garlean make. And that this description pretty much gives us all that we really need to know for now at this point in time. But it's just like, I'm flabbergasted, guys. I am absolutely flabbergasted on just how this is actually coming to be a real thing. And I cannot wait to see the memes on Twitter, see the memes on Reddit, see the memes on YouTube on how the Reaper is literally actually a fucking botanist. So now it makes entirely too much sense that literally just recently I got the Reaper title, and now I finally have the Reaper title on my boy Ezekiel. Oh my god. Oh Lord, I'm never gonna get tired of this. But other than that, getting to it, talking about the actual symbol, it's obvious that the actual symbol has, of course, the scythe as one of the primary aspects on the Soulstone symbol. But another thing that may confuse people is this part right here, which is actually a soul. Thing is that when it comes to it, many of the soul stones pretty much stay within their simplicity in terms of design. And for a soul, there are so many ways for you to actually make a soul design actually come out simplistically. In most cases, it will be very intricate when it comes to designing a soul as a symbol, but in many ways, just doing it like this is pretty fair. Many would probably think that this is probably something else. I can only imagine most people would think that this is something different entirely. I really don't know for per se, whether or not if that is the case, but in many ways, I really do feel like some would probably be confused when it comes to the symbol when you look at it, but it honestly, the description literally tells you everything that you need to know as far as what the symbol represents. It literally tells you power fed by the souls of the slain, and then once more they took up their scythes. Soul scythe. There you go. Simple as that. And this time to reap a crimson harvest. Oh, good God, I cannot believe this is happening. And now I honestly can't even freaking see like the gear actually like anything but like some botanist gear just dyed black. I swear, I feel literally like I can't actually see this anything but like botanist gear just dyed black. Oh my God. Oh Lord, help me. Oh Lord. Anyway, guys, that's about it. That's all I got for you. We pretty much filled in on all the aspects I really wanted to get into. There's really not much else that I really want to say here. I just really wanted to talk about the jobs more so than anything. But with that in mind, I really hope that you enjoyed this freaking discussion here. If there's anything you guys would like to say on what we've seen here, put it down in the comments. Let me know what's up. With that in mind, you take care. Peace out.